So we got it back from Tiggy. Much couriering and running around to get that back. He did it so quick, it's brilliant. So it's all tigged up basically. So now the time to fit it for a couple of reasons. One, we hope to start the engine soon, and that'd be wonderful. Two, train on time as usual, even during the lockdown. Every time. We only have 3 a day now, but every time. Train is empty, by the way, other than the driver. And we're back in the room. So he's tigged it up beautiful, as usual. Looking smashing. We've not back purged it. It's the downpipe, it's not a manifold as such, so I'm really not bothered about that, but it looks lovely. Made my cuts and joins all look professional now. So let's fit it up, shall we? Downpipe. Yummy. Okay. That looks too easy to me. From memory, we went a bit more. Facing the wrong way. I'm gonna have to look at an old video, I think, to know how to get this out. Take 2. Oh yeah. Oh yes. Oh yes. Close. The bracket is about 20 millimeters out. And the holes don't even come close. I can't get anything in position to pull it in position as such. I don't know how this bracket is that far out. That doesn't make any sense at all. I welded it on before we sent it. Unless it's completely bent in half. After a lot of looking at it and staring and drinking tea, decided I'm going to cut it there, and then hopefully a little pie cut and extension will bring this flange into place. It's definitely moved on the pie cuts, because basically if you don't try and fit it to the flange and you fit the 2 connections down here, they fit beautifully, there's all the clearance you need, and it all goes wrong here, which is no surprise. We know what we should have done. Perfect circumstances, Tiggy would be here, we'd make that arm there, we'd weld on a couple of pie cuts, then we'd fit it back on the car, and then we weld on the next bit, fit back on the cart, so on and so forth. We know that, we just couldn't do that here, and so I'm now taking the brunt of that situation. But worst things can happen. We are healthy, so we'll just crack on, and I will MIG weld the joins, and then we'll go over them with a TIG at a later point in life. But let's just get on with it. So I'm going to cut it there, then I'm going to fit the down section and fit this onto the flange and see what we need to cut and fit to make it work. So back to front is not great. We're out a fair bit there. You can see that. And then side to side we're out as well. So it's in two directions, which is a bit of a pain. I'm going to have a fiddle off video. Not going to bore you with fiddling with little bits of metal all the time. Let's see what we can do. I'm going to fit it to the rest of the system as well, I think, before I go any further. Make sure the brackets are exactly where I want them to be. Make that spacer. Ensure this piece is exactly where I want it to be. And then we can make a little slither that'll go between those two pieces and fix our problem. Oh, I feel so bad cutting this lovely downpipe up. So I do apologise to those that I don't necessarily see the workings out, but you know, I've had lunch, half an hour telephone call, etc, etc, and lots of fiddling. So I did cut out this piece here and then was manipulating it to add on a little pike at the bottom, and I realised it probably didn't need to if I just take that section out altogether, as there'll be multiple kinks in it, cut it short at the top, which I have done, and then put a straight piece in, which I'm doing now. So I had that section out. I can't actually get it out. It's sort of stuck in there, which is good. I undid the bottom and top sections, put it in, and then bolted them up, and they've kind of held it in. But as you can see, I made a line down top and bottom marks, and then I measured multiple points around the top and bottom at different lengths, because there's a different slight angle there and there. Then cut the pipe to that size, so it's 186 at one point, 191 at another point. But it does mean it's not a bad fit. There's a tiny little gap on that one. There's a tiny gap at the back on that one, but both I'm satisfied with. So, not to repeat mistakes, what we're going to do, I'm just going to clean up these two edges now, take it out again, clean up all the edges, put it back in. I'm going to tack up the top, take it off, weld up the top, let that cool down, fit the top piece back on, tack it up at the bottom, and then I'm going to weld up part of the bottom with it all bolted in, weld up as far as I can go, let it all cool down, then take it off for a final weld around the back. That's my plan. I think I've got the welder dialed in as best as I possibly can. We've tacked it up on the car and removed it. We're going to weld it all the way around, let it cool, and then we'll go for this bottom section. In dialing it in, I think I've learned two things. One, make sure you go all the way to the top. Two, I really could do with Tiggy right now. Try to be neat. Hopefully it's strong too. Well, it's got penetration around all of it, other than a tiny little bit here that hasn't perfectly penetrated. It's not bad though. Not bad. cool a little bit. It's annoying. Just to warm up a bit more. Drop some weld in the lander hole. Yay! I'm not that positive about it, I don't know if you can tell. But all the effort that Tiggy went to and I went to seems to sort of been pointless. Might as well just migged it anyway. There we go. Not panic too much about it. Still quite hot that. Biggest lesson. You've got to work welding like that from above. Anything inside off. Just highlight on a practice weld, after dialing it in, I managed to get that lovely weld there. You see that? And I was like, oh my life, that's perfect. Well, all the rest of the welds now look like these blobs on the top edge where I was trying to dial it in. Not like that lovely join there. Oh well. This is why Tiggy does this and I don't. Some areas not so bad. Some areas atrocious. Absolutely atrocious. Least bit. Yes! 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 Yeah! Oh, it's hot. Still hot. It fits! It blooming fits! This is the exhaust video complete. Downpipe, with the landers connected, bracket, V-band, train. Oh my goodness, I don't believe how often that train goes by when there's no one on it. V-band, up there to flexi, to a straight pipe, to another a V-band, and a mount to our back box and simple little tip. Hoin chin. Yay! That's the exhaust all tucked in and nipped in. On the next episode, fuel tank. Thanks for watching. Hit the thumbs up, comment down below, subscribe if you haven't already, see my other videos. Yay!